salutations. I'm Gil.
And I'm Gil, and this is Strategic Prepper.
Good morning. Good morning. This is Gil and Gil. We are going to give you, our Strategic Prepper community, an update on the Canadian situation. Remember, when this first started, we were saying Russia's not the thing. Pay attention to Canada.
Yeah.
You've heard us saying this. In fact, we updated you every day for a little while. And but so much has happened. It just was a lot to follow. So we kind of let things play for a couple of days, and now we can see a bigger picture. And so we want to give you an update. And as we were right, the Russia thing is dissipating. And that whole thing, the globalists, they've been after Russia for some time. And that's just the
boogeyman.
That's the word I was thinking. That's just the boogeyman. And countries have done this since the beginning of time, trying to distract from what's really going on. And
it's a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, usually that stuff doesn't work, but they still try it. But we have been saying, and as many in the community have been, oh my gosh, Russia, Ukraine, and we're like, no, guys, you're looking at the wrong area. Mm-hmm. And we see. Canadian. Let me put it like this: if you're Canadian, SHTF has started. All right, I'm going to put it bluntly like that. You are at the beginning of an encroaching SHTF. It has started. You're in it. That is my personal view. I actually didn't even talk with you about it. I don't know where you're at. This is only going to end up one of a few ways, and either, and I've said this before, either the Trudeau government will collapse, or the whole constitutional government will collapse, or you will see widespread oppression, which has already started with the truckers, but you will see it more broad-based, and you will see open conflict.
It's interesting to mention that, because we haven't discussed this before, but there was a guy I was listening to, the podcast I was listening to this week, and he had made the similar, he said that these types of events are some of or can collapse governments, right? So he was saying is we don't know which way it's going to play out.
We talked about this just
but
2 weeks ago.
It absolutely can collapse the system of government, or it could go the other way, and we're already we're seeing how authoritarian their government can be and is, and remember, the Canadian system is not. It's not that different from. It's different, but not all
it's
that
parliamentary.
Different
but the culture is pretty similar.
Very similar, yeah.
Yeah, and we look over here because our notes are over here.
Our screen's
on the screen, it's us. We like the electronic notes, and so we had been talking about this. And our first headline: Justin Trudeau grabs power under never before used Emergencies Act. So he's using an anti-terrorist act.
Yeah, that's what he's calling them. He says they are terrorists.
Peaceful protests. And he's calling them terrorists because they disagree with him. And it's not about protesting. We're going to see that in just a little bit. But it's about protesting in a manner that he doesn't like. And
they're disagreeing with his decision, the ruling class.
Yeah. And we talked before about them saying they're going after the kids and seizing bank accounts and all that other stuff. And but I've said before, you've said before, we in America and in Western cultures, we have to watch Canada, because that is the direction that the elites are going. And I've said before that I think they've already decided that they're going to make their move. And
and I know none of our articles, but also looking at Australia, another first world country, right? Built in a similar manner that Canada.
Yep.
They've also gone the authoritarian route, putting people in camps and all that. A little different vein, so I don't want to get into that, but same concept. You look at these other governments, what they're doing.
This is just right out in the open. This is Tiananmen Square, Canada.
For the whole world to see.
And right. I mean, there's no hiding anymore in Canada that they have embraced tyranny, the Trudeau government. It's gone in a bad direction, and it's not going to get better. You remember the video I did talking about Bill Clinton? You know, how sad is it that I got to use Bill Clinton as a positive example?
Things have changed.
Yes, things have changed. I mean, he noticed that the will of the people had moved, and he's like, all right, I'm here to govern the people, not be a tyrant. And he recognized that, and he adjusted. And he said the era of big government is over. This guy Trudeau, he's not that. He's more in the vein of a freely elected German guy in the 30s. Yeah. And so next item here. Canada's Justice Minister, Trump supporters ought to be worried about frozen bank accounts. What's that say? They're not done.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Let me finish.
I was going to say, just like we mentioned in an earlier video, just because the Western provinces are backing off, that's not the federal government.
No.
And I know this is this is the Justice Minister of Canada, and they are doubling, tripling down on this path. They are not going to let up on their power that they got from the jab. They're not. My personal opinion, it's not going to get back to normal. Mm-hmm. It's going to increase. And he's saying Trump supporters. What the heck are Trump supporters? What do we have to do with
anything? What do we have to do with any of this?
I know. What the heck? But you know what? I've said, how many times have I said this? The left, the globalist elites, they telegraph what they're going to do.
Yeah,
they do. Yeah. But people don't believe them. But they tell you what they're going to do. Yep. Watch out for your bank accounts. And, the
government's just stepping in, and even like in Canada, they're just stepping in and freezing people. No due process. They're freezing accounts of people suspected, not even just suspected of being part of the trucker convoy. And you'll see that in the U.S. something similar in the U.S. at some point.
So what was that funding site that they moved?
GoFundMe.
No.
The other one.
I
don't know the other one.
The new one that they went to.
I don't know.
And but anyway, they went to an American Christian funding site, and the Canadian judge says, "You must freeze all accounts." And they said, "But we don't belong to Canada. You're on your own, buddy."
Well, and
the Canadian court system has no jurisdiction over us, is what they said.
Well, but you think about how crazy this is. The government, the federal government, right? In the Canadian, the federal government is freezing bank accounts of private citizens with just
no due
process, just because they feel like it. Yeah. And then they are strong-arming and forcing private companies to do the same.
Yeah.
Just because they said so.
So then they crank it up a notch, and the next one here, Ottawa protesters link arms to block the police. Police have been arresting and dragging off people for peacefully protesting, and just like we anticipated, they're cranking it up. They're doubling down.
And just like you see this pattern in all other totalitarian governments. Yeah. The secret police will come and take you and your family away if you disagree with the government.
Trudeau has crossed a line.
Yeah,
he is no longer considered part of the free world. He has crossed the line. Tiananmen Trudeau has gone too far, and they're arresting peaceful protesters because he doesn't like what they're going to say. But
these are real peaceful protesters.
Yeah,
let's not forget 2020. These are actually peaceful protesters.
Yeah,
because let's not forget in 2020 these same people were openly supporting violence, not protesters.
How about the next one? Right now, at the same time, you've got, it says axe-wielding anti-pipeline extremists. This is Canada.
Police,
attack police, yet they're not terrorists.
Yeah,
axe-wielding, they're not terrorists, but peaceful truck drivers who just want to follow the science on this this 2020 event. They're somehow terrorists because they don't support the leftist government. But these axe-wielding people attacking police are not terrorists, and you could say, well, one's going after the economy. What do you think is going to happen? You shut down a pipeline.
Yeah, you tell me attacking pipeline isn't going after the economy?
I know. Nuts? I mean, oil's kind of big, but
it's going after
oil's big in the conservative provinces of Canada.
Well, it's not part of the left-wing agenda. If they had their way, they would shut down all these pipelines and force us to be serfs anyway. So
yeah, well, and that's part of it is they want to get rid of the middle class and they want to get rid of freedom. They want to have the semblance of freedom. Now.
Well, yeah, because that's a whole nother. Yeah, you can get into the whole.
I remember Russia used to have, Soviet Union used to have regular elections. See, we're reelected, but
People keep winning. Oh,
you're not You're not free when you only
political
have one
opponents
choice.
start disappearing, and well, we don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you got 99% of the vote. Wow,
oh, amazing,
so popular.
Yeah,
and it's like Iran. They have reformists, and all of a sudden they get disqualified.
Oh,
There'll be
amazing.
Like thousands of people get
just following the
disqualified
rules.
from running, and somehow
we're
they're
just gonna change the rules, and outcome just like
so Trudeau has
election.
crossed the line. The leftists have crossed the line. They are no longer a free country, and it's only going to get worse. My sympathies to you guys up in Canada. Your time has just about run out. You have a little bit of time before this spreads beyond the truckers. I'm making a prediction. It will spread beyond the truckers. And it's already kind of started. Any supporters, they said Trump supporters, freezing bank accounts, it's kind of already starting to spread beyond the truckers. I predict it's going to anyone connected somehow. That's what they're going to say.
Yeah, any sign of dissent, anybody on the right, which now anybody not on the left is now on the right. So don't be fooled by that.
Even if you're on the left, but you're not far enough on the left.
Yeah,
you know.
Oh yeah.
So the last one. This just came out this morning, and this is a cryptocurrency expert. What he's saying, and it sounds awfully familiar to what somebody else would say, right? But this just came out an hour ago, but we said this like
I feel like I've heard this somewhere.
2 weeks ago, right? It says, let me read this. U.S. should watch what Canadian... Who said that? We said that, right?
Yep.
We've been saying this. U.S. should watch what the Canadian government is doing to protesters. No one is safe. This is a Fox Business News. No one is safe. U.S. government could very realistically attempt to punish protesters as the Canadian government is doing, the expert warned.
Yeah.
We're telling you guys, they're making their move.
This is the direction we're headed in.
This is, yes.
And you got a lot of times people will make the mistake of looking at the way things are now and just judging the future based on. You have to have a little imagination, understanding history.
Yeah.
Connect the dots, see where the future is headed. We've been saying this like forever. This is how we expect the future to play out.
Right. So we don't want to be a downer on you guys.
Yeah.
We do want to point out. We do want to be realistic. We got another video where we're going to talk about so many people have us as preparedness-minded people have us looking in all these different directions. We don't do that. We'll tell you, hey, that's not really an issue. We've done this.
What's like with the Russia
thing? That's not an issue for
gonna
us.
Go to war. You know, someone was talking about Red Dawn Wednesday. Relax.
Relax, people.
Unless it's movie night.
And the military's going to go in and restore Trump. And relax, it's not going to happen.
It ain't going to happen. I remember having a discussion at work with guys. Like, I'm telling
it's
you,
not
it's
gonna
not going to happen.
I've had that discussion with so many people, and it's not going to happen. So we've been we got the videos talking about these where we've been pretty accurate. We're I think introspective, and we're a little cautious, more cautious than others. And I'm watching the internet, and there's lots of preparedness-minded people. Russia. I'm like, hold on, no, not.
Yeah.
Canada, guys, Canada. Well, look north, but not north.
Not that north. You got to directly north.
Directly north.
Well, and that's really what drove us to get into all of this, try to help people out, because this is a common theme in the preparedness world. It's like people gravitate towards these big headline items, and you got to have a common sense approach, right? You got to be data driven, and you got to be strategic. That's why it's in the name. Big picture strategy.
Yeah.
Systematic approaches.
What can we do as preparedness-minded people? I mean, the first thing, I've said this so many times, is exercise some wisdom and caution in what you go after and who you follow. Exercise some caution, and don't just follow every news cycle. You got to think the big picture. The government is going to try to draw us in. They're going to look at, like with Trudeau, he's using the trucker. I'm not saying there's not a time for this. I mean, I support the truckers and their decision 100%. Right? But understand that when something like this happens, the government is looking for something like this. They're trying to manufacture that January thing into this, where an excuse to crack down, and it's just not flying. They're going to keep trying to find something to manufacture. Canada believes they have found their excuse to crack down.
Yeah, if they can push us to act unreasonably, they have an excuse to use excessive force.
So the thing is, reassess your preps. We can help you with that. We do consulting, and we've got a very comprehensive and effective assessment service, and we can guide you through that. Or if you want to do it on your own, we've got some videos. Assess where you're at. Refocus. This is a time, I think, to shed some of the extra things with life, and this is the time. And you've heard others say a couple of years is really what people are saying. We could be off by a couple of years, one way or the other. But I
think what was our goal to have the bulk rush?
24, 25,
something like that.
Yeah,
with our properties like 90% up and running or something to that effect. Yeah. It's.
But it's time to make sure that we focus. Make sure you've got a good plan. Test your systems. We've got a video on that as well, where we've got a testing service, a drill exercise service, where we can help you identify gaps, because you want to be efficient, and you just don't want to buy gear or focus on one aspect and ignore another. So you want to test your systems as well. And this is coming. This is really coming, and we see it's here in Canada. They've made their move. Tiananmen Trudeau has made his move, and it's just a matter of time in the U.S. And in Western Europe.
Because if you study history, it's the cycle's pretty much the same every time.
Well,
certain things happen.
Even more than that. I mean, you look at history, and there's been this globalist agenda, and this march towards globalism. But the people that are in politics are the people that want to tell us what to do. Mm-hmm. That's why they join politics. I don't care if it's a school board or if it's the National Assembly, which is House of Representatives and Senate for the U.S. But it doesn't matter. There are people who want to tell you what to do. Mm-hmm. They think that they know better. And so, like I said, this is coming. I do believe it will spread to the U.S., and maybe a little sooner than we like. But as we said before, this is something to watch.
Yeah.
We told you on the Russia thing, like, give me a break. And like so we got enough videos talking about that. I don't need to really dive into that too much. But reassess where you're at with your preparedness. Time to get serious. Come up with make sure you've got good plans, and don't go chase after anything that's the flavor of the month. Yeah, the flavor of the month. Don't chase after the flavor of the month. And I know some people need to generate views on their YouTube channels because they've got a whole bunch of subscribers and all that. And it's we're although we love many subscribers, we're actually out to have good, solid information and guidance. And and if that doesn't get us to 100,000 subscribers, it doesn't get us to 100,000.
Yeah, we're not going to stray from our mission.
Although that's just your fault. Yeah. Although we might hit 3,000 today.
Pretty soon. I think we're 10 away or something.
Yeah, we might hit 3,000.
So we're getting
by the time you guys view this, we may be at 3,000 subscribers. So that's pretty exciting. We do thank you guys. That's pretty awesome. All right. Anything else? I mean, there's so much more we can talk for hours.
To unpack. It's just it's
the highlights.
It's an indicator of what's coming, and we have been saying that for a while. And
not just what, how.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even like with the currency,
people wonder. It's Canada.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, these people are just great people. They are friendly and peaceful, and they love freedom, and it's Canada. Mm-hmm. And we see not just the what, but the how
quickly it deteriorates.
Boom. Oh, there's a protest, and they make me look bad. Okay.
Yep.
I declare national emergency. And
you're all terrorists. And
now I'm dictator, the Fuhrer of Canada.
Yeah.
And
Chairman Trudeau.
Chairman Trudeau. That's right. All right.
Trudy. Chairman Trudy.
How long does this last before we get booted? We're going to put this on our Patreon site as well, just in case. So please support us on Patreon. That's where we get that, and our consultant services is where we get the funds to keep doing this and get you this type of information and to do the research that it takes, because there's a lot of people that we have to reach out to so that we can get a good in-depth analysis to do things like this. So, all right, with that being said, stay safe and stay prepared.